As per the request of Reborn 1776, I am making a video um, late at night after I got home from work. So pardon me if I look a little droopy faced. Um, this is the East Coast Economic Update for October the 8th, going into October the 9th, 2009. Just want to do a quick couple of couple of items, and I want to just finish with a philosophical thought. L Cross. Tomorrow night, if you have a nice dark spot to watch the moon get slammed by a bullet the size of a tractor trailer at twice the speed of a bullet, which would be near Mach 1, and maybe mass destruction on a global scale, you can watch it. Now, I'm not a scientist. I'm not pretending to be a scientist. I'm a theologian and a philosopher. That's who I am. Like Galileo, in his infinite wisdom, um, said that the mass of the moon must be lighter, its center must be thinner or lighter than its actual size, because if its mass matched its size, it would have already careened into the Earth because of its mass, and because of a large mass, its gravitational pull would just pull it right into us. So part of that rationale was also that Galileo observed that the moon does not rotate on its axis. Now, what do I think might happen? This is a guess. I'm not a scientist. The moon has a natural pull, obviously, because that's why we have tides. So let's say this thing hits the moon and it starts to cause the axis to turn, even a little bit. It doesn't take anybody who's ever seen a alternator in a car. It's a battery with something rotating around it to cause friction and electricity. You know, we could have inter-satellite, interplanetary electric, aurora borealises. We could actually, in a worst-case scenario, because the rotation of its axis could draw the moisture of the water from one place on the Earth and just slap it down somewhere else on the Earth. It could cut off a chip of it. All you need is a piece of the moon about the size of the island of Manhattan careening into the Earth at supersonic speeds to cause any kind of thing. I don't think anybody's actually thought this through. That's what I'm trying to say. The folks at NASA have no freaking clue, what they're doing. They're just playing games with multi-billion dollars. We could have probably paid off all our mortgages with the amount of money that they have, playing, put your eye out with a BB gun in the backyard, on a massive scale, Take it from me, I know what it's like to have no eye. So just be aware. I'm going to be out in the field tomorrow night. They say you can see the explosion from space with your naked eye. So let's see how big of an explosion it could be. But if that's the worst of their problems, it's the least of our problems right now. Which brings us to the fact that Jörn, the German guy, who I refer to as the German guy, Jörn, if you're being offended by me calling you the German guy, please let me know. I will stop. You're a great guy, and I respect you highly. Anyway, his channel's there. He predicted back in October of last year that by October this year, gold would be heading to 1,050 and going beyond that, and would also coincide with the demise of the dollar, which from the Independent, if you haven't seen it, I'll also have it there. There's an indication that the powers that be elsewhere are positioning themselves for this collapse. So check him out. Watch his videos. Very smart guy. Thirdly, quickly, the vaccine exemption letters. The union and I are writing up 3 of them. One we're going to put on the website so anybody can use it, or you can get your pastor, imam, rabbi, priest to sign it. The second one is going to be for our congregants, and the third one is going to be one that if no one has a religious leader that they will sign for it, we will sign for it. Actually, my signature, my real signature is going to be on it, so it's legitimate. So far I've gotten 4 requests. I think there might be a 5th. Rabbi David Cho mentioned it from New Tom, and I may do a shout out one more time to make sure I have everybody in place who wants one with my signature on it, and I'll have it together. Which now brings me quickly to my philosophical part. David and I were talking about tonight about what God thinks is success versus what man thinks is success. If you look at the examples of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and Noah, and Job, and the rest, they didn't have CDOs and derivatives and ETFs. They had sheep, goats, fields, gold, silver. So my suggestion to you as a rabbi, and I'm speaking only as a religious person, is I think that we're coming to a point here where the fake success is going to be destroyed, to be replaced by the real success, with real money, with real things that bring about real success. I don't want to call it wealth, because I think that we're at a precipice here where we're going to go from a place of scarcity, which causes people to have and have not, to a place of resource where people can have and share. I pray that that's the way it's going to be. I believe it's going to be, because the system we have now is obviously failing on multiple avenues here, on multiple facets, physically, psychologically, militarily, and so forth. So I would say to you, not to pray per se, but to meditate on the fact that what is important. Family is important. Loving one another is important. Having food on your table is important. Having clothes on your back is important. Having a roof over your head is important. But ultimately, these things can be gotten by our own strength and by us working together, not by ill-gotten ways of shell games, Ponzi schemes, and confidence games. So keep this in mind. So I'll probably do another video tomorrow. And I just want to say to everyone, God bless you, always. And thanks. Peace.